Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to today's ceremony. I'm Tech Sergeant Cassandra Jones, and I'll be your Master of Ceremony for this special event. On behalf of Lieutenant Colonel Tracy Bunko, welcome to the ceremony honoring Technical Sergeant Christina Styer as she retires from the United States Air Force with 20 years of dedicated service to our country. Please stand for the arrival of the official party and remain standing for the playing of the national anthem, followed by the invocation by Chaplain Schrader.
If you would, join me praying in your tradition as I pray in mine this morning. Father in heaven, as we open this retirement ceremony, honoring the service of Technical Sergeant Christina Styer, we pause, having just heard our national anthem, and reflect on the unique opportunity and privilege it is to be Americans. Of all times in human history, to be alive and in all places on earth, we have the privilege to live in the greatest nation of all time and serve as American airmen in the greatest flying force the world has ever known. Specifically today, we thank you for the service of Sergeant Styer that she has given to our country, and most recently to the Dragon family. She has put mission first for 20 years, giving the first fruits of her energy, her expertise to make us a better Air Force. She has proven herself capable and faithful with the gifts and talents that she's been given. As Sergeant Styer enters this new stage of life, I pray you will guide and direct her in whatever may come her way. Continue to give her strength, pride, and humility that embodies the Air Force NCO. A woman that exemplifies the Air Force core values of integrity, service, and excellence in all that she does. Give her a sense of pride as she looks back on her career, and peace as she looks forward to this new season. Father, I also ask your blessing on her friends and family who have supported and encouraged her throughout these years. Thank you for them and the sacrifices they have made as she has faithfully served. And Father, for each of us here today, may this retirement ceremony may it be a catalyst for excellence for all of us as we daily strive to answer our nation's calls. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Thank you, Chaplain. Please welcome our official party for today's ceremony. Our presiding officer, the Director of Public Affairs, United States Air Force Academy, Lieutenant Colonel Tracy Bunko. Our honoree, Professional Military Education Instructor, Matthews Non-Commissioned Officer Academy, Technical Sergeant Christina Styer. Accompanied by her father, James Francis. Her friends, Senior Master Sergeant Gregory Styer, Senior Master Sergeant Danielle Lockwood, and Brian Lindsay. Also joining us today, the Commandant, Matthews Non-Commissioned Officer Academy, Chief Master Sergeant Rodney Deese. We would also like to extend a very warm welcome to all family, friends, and co-workers who are here to show their appreciation during this special occasion. Ladies and gentlemen, it's now now my pleasure to introduce Lieutenant Colonel Bunko.
So Christina and I have known each other since we were stationed at Langley together about 10 years ago. So we were stationed at Langley Air Force Base when PA was still under the 1st Fighter Wing. We talk a lot about the Air Force embracing change, being adaptive. We consider that part of our culture. But let's face it, when it actually happens to you, suddenly change seems like a really good idea for somebody else and someplace else. Christina's not one of those people. She's remarkably adaptable. She reinvents herself constantly. During the time that we were together, we moved her out of the comm squadron into public affairs. She went from being strictly a photographer, which is mostly scheduled events, to being a photojournalist, where the schedule changed constantly or there was no schedule at all. We changed her responsibilities. We moved from F-15s to F-22s. We integrated with an Air National Guard unit. We joined our base with a neighboring Army post. And for good measure, we changed the name of both installations, and then we moved her under a different wing. And she was still smiling at the end of all of that. Sergeant Styer was one in my office who moved out fearlessly without looking back. And her airmen in the office did better because of it. So one of my favorite poems is called On Children. It's held a different meaning for me throughout my life, but how I think of it now, I think relates a lot to Christina today and back in Langley. So I cut out some of the lines for brevity, but a few I want to share are, your children are not your children. You may give them your love, but not your thoughts, for they have their own thoughts. You may house their bodies, but not their souls, for their souls dwell in the house of tomorrow. You may strive to be like them, but seek not to make them like you. For life goes not backwards, nor tarries with yesterday. You are the bows from which your children, as living arrows, are sent forth. So there's a lot there, but let me break down where I'm going with this. Christina was still a young NCO at Langley. She was what I consider still an arrow, mostly, a really swift arrow. And the poem goes on talking about an arrow flies true when it's shot from a stable bow. It doesn't hesitate, and neither can the bow bring it back. I believe Christina was able to fly forward ahead of some of her peers because she had a stable bow. She had a strong family, a military legacy, and most of all, her father, who set her on a trajectory to join the Air Force. He told her the education opportunities were better. You're right, my mom told me the same thing. And then he let her go. Now, years later, she's a bow. She's a bow from which arrows are sent forth. They're not children, although being a former tech school instructor and now working at the academy, it is really tempting to consider them our kids. They're the young airmen. She's influenced in her assignment here and throughout her career. It's tempting for some of us to want the Air Force to stay the same, for airmen to be the same. But they live in the house of tomorrow. We shoot them ahead of us, beyond us. We may strive to be like them, but they will never and should never be exactly like us. The ones who were mentored and encouraged by Sergeant Styer had a stable bow. Someone who steadied them, guided their course, and then stayed back and let them succeed. Someone who allowed them their own thoughts and dreams and encouraged them, but never tried to fly for them. Someday her airmen will be the bows that launch the next generation even farther. In that way, Christina, all of the people here, and hopefully everyone in the Air Force, we all touch the future. Christina's dad is part of a steadying force that guided Sergeant Styer and will send forth generations of men and women in the Air Force. Today, Christina continues to move forward. Her influence will resonate, but she will move on. She will continue that education path that her father set her on, and she will find another way to continue her family's legacy of service. Because life goes not backward, nor tarries with yesterday. Congratulations to Sergeant Styer. Thank you for your service. We're also happy for you and excited to see what you do in your journey.
Thank you, Lieutenant Colonel Bunker. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the presentation of the Air Force Commendation Medal to Technical Sergeant Styer. Attention to orders. This is to certify that the Air Force Commendation Medal has been awarded to Technical Sergeant Christina Styer for meritorious service 7 May 2014 to 16 October 2018. Technical Sergeant Christina Styer distinguished herself by meritorious service as Non-Commissioned Officer Academy Instructor, Matthews Non-Commissioned Officer Academy, Barnes Center for Enlisted Military Education, Keesler Air Force Base, Mississippi. During this period, Sergeant Styer exemplified excellence as a community college of the Air Force collegiate level instructor within the Department of Defense and for the largest junior college in the world. She taught more than 3,015 hours and 2,273 airmen leaders from across 146 wings, 50 tenant units, 9 major commands, and 7 agencies. Additionally, she championed 74 leaders from 17 technical specialties and hosting 3 Air Force Junior Reserve Officer Training Corps Cadet Leadership Symposiums that forged leadership, teamwork, drill, and ceremony for 355 youth leaders from 5 states and 17 high schools. Furthermore, Sergeant Styer was instrumental to the Air Force-wide implementation of the Non-Commissioned Officer Academy's Intermediate Leadership Experience that annually develops over 9,723 national and international Air Force members across the globe. Finally, her unwavering commitment to the profession of arms earned her Non-Commissioned Officer of the Quarter in 2015, 2016, and contributed to her unit winning the Air Force's Training Command 2015 Spirit Award and the Enlisted Professional Military Education Team of the Year Award for 2014 and 2015. The distinctive accomplishments of Sergeant Styer culminate a distinguished career in the service of her country and reflect credit upon herself and the United States Air Force. Lieutenant Colonel Bunko will now retire Sergeant Styer.
Publish the order.
Attention to orders. The Department of the Air Force Special Order Number AC 012252, dated 4 June 2018. By order of the Secretary of the Air Force, effective 31 December 2018. Technical Sergeant Christina Styer is relieved from active duty, organization and station of assignment, and retired effective 1 January 2019. Signed, General David L. Goldstein, United States Air Force Chief of Staff. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Lieutenant Colonel Bunko will now present the retirement certificate. To all who shall see this presented, greetings. This is to certify that Technical Sergeant Christina Styer, having served faithfully and honorably, was retired from the United States Air Force on the first day of January 2019. Signed, David L. Goldstein, General, United States Air Force Chief of Staff, and Deborah A. Lovett, Colonel, Commander 81st Training Wing, Keesler Air Force Base, Mississippi. Sergeant Styer also received letters of appreciation from the President of the United States and the Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force. They'll be on display for you to see after the ceremony. We would now like to ask that Technical Sergeant Styer's father, Mr. James Francis, come to the stage and join Lieutenant Colonel Bunko and Technical Sergeant Styer to assist in the pinning of the coveted retirement pin.
All right.
Thank you, Mr. Francis. Please be seated. Technical Sergeant Styer's career has been filled with many challenges which she freely accepted and boldly conquered. She was never restricted by the title she held, and her involvement often far exceeded the bounds of her Air Force specialty. Her efforts and accomplishments did not go unnoticed. On behalf of the many friends, we wish to present you with this shadow box, which culminates a military member's career. Enclosed was what is known as the military member's most honored and cherished possession, the United States national flag. The flag which you so proudly served and so honorably defended. The Air Force Shadow Box is rich in military tradition. The Shadow Box, as its name implies, shadows your military career. The box represents your selfless dedication to duty and personal sacrifices you made during your military career. The rank insignias show your ability to follow and, more importantly, to lead. The flag of the United States represents the nation you served. However, not shown in the box are the many sacrifices your family made to support you throughout your career. May you display the shadow box proudly in a prominent place where all who see it will know that Technical Sergeant Christina Styer, U.S. Air Force retired, served her country with dedication, sacrifice, and above all else, honor. At this time, we'll be honoring Sergeant Styer by conducting a flag folding ceremony. For more than 200 years, the American flag has been a symbol of our nation's unity, as well as a source of pride and inspiration for millions of citizens. Born on June 14, 1777, the Second Continental Congress determined that the flag of the United States be 13 stripes, alternating between 7 red and 6 white, and that the Union be 13 stars, white in a blue field representing a new constellation. Between 1777 and 1960, the shape and design of the flag evolved into the flag presented before you today. The 13 horizontal stripes represent the original 13 colonies, while the stars represent the 50 states of the Union. The colors of the flag are symbolic as well. Red symbolizes hardiness and valor. White signifies purity and innocence. And blue represents vigilance, perseverance, and justice. By displaying the flag and giving it a distinctive fold, we show respect to the flag and express our gratitude for those individuals who fought and continue to fight for freedom at home and abroad. Since the dawn of the 20th century, airmen have proudly flown the flag in every major conflict on lands and skies around the world. It is their responsibility, it's our responsibility, to continue to protect and preserve the rights, privileges, and freedoms that we as Americans enjoy today. Ladies and gentlemen, please allow me to be the first to introduce you to Christina M. Styer, Technical Sergeant, United States Air Force, retired.
So this is crazy, and I'm going to try to make it through it without like a lot of tears. Martin Luther King Jr. said, "If you can't fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But whatever you do, keep moving forward." Wasn't supposed to start this soon. Sorry. This quote perfectly sums up the last 20 years of my life serving in the Air Force. I have so much gratitude for all the Air Force has given me and the opportunities that I've been afforded. I can't say every moment and season has been easy or even enjoyable. These years have been full of hardship and challenges that pushed me to the end of myself at times, but they've also been full of success. Some of the most amazing experiences of my life and the most amazing people I have ever met. I can say with conviction and truth that it's all been worth it because all the moments, good and bad, shaped me into the person I am today. I've attended hundreds of retirement ceremonies over the last almost 20 years as the official photographer. What you mostly hear is people looking back on their careers and giving advice to those who are listening. I've been trying to think about what advice I should give in these moments for a while, and I honestly have no idea. So instead, I'm not going to give advice. I'm just going to give gratitude. No one gets anywhere alone, and I've been exceptionally blessed with supportive family, friends, and mentors to help me along the way. When I think about 19-year-old me, I wonder how she ever got to this place. I know the woman I am today was living inside of me then, but I didn't know her yet. Then I was a huge hot mess, my dad can tell you. Like, couldn't get my life together for anything at the time. That hot mess lives on, but I'd like to think I figured out how to get my life sort of together at this point. People in my life have helped to guide me to where I am and who I am today. Many of them are in this room right now, and many are not. I'm not going to name everyone because I know me, and I will leave some people out. But please know that I appreciate and love you all so very much. Lieutenant Colonel Bunko, you are one of the people in my life that helped me along the way. Thank you so much for honoring me by officiating my ceremony. Your influence in my life and career began during your deployment before I ever even worked for you. Between that deployment and working for you at Langley, you taught me how to be a strong female leader, but also that it's not only okay but necessary to show people who you are as a person. From you, I learned that being in control and in charge doesn't mean that you have to hide your personality. This helped me in my career and life more than you know. And again, thank you so much for being here, and thank you for helping me along the way. Greg, it's impossible to talk about my career without including this man, friend, and mentor. Don't start.
Too late.
For just over half of my career, he's been a guiding presence in my world. Our journey has brought us to a point where I can tell you that we are better friends now than we were when we were married. He is family. Regardless of what happened in life, he has been there helping me to be my best self. He taught me to use my logic to weed through the constant influx of emotions I constantly face. He has supported me, listened to me, guided me, told me harsh truths when I needed it, and mentored me. I owe a lot of who I am as a person, an airman, and a leader to your influence in my life. Thank you so much for who you are. The Air Force is a better place because you are still in it, and any person who gets the honor of working with you will be better for your influence. Brian, you are a new part of my life, but over the last several months I have come to really rely on you. You came into my world during a very complicated time, but you hung in there and are so important to me. Thank you for helping me transition from the military to the civilian world. I'm not sure I can even vocalize how much I appreciate having you here and how much you add to my life. So I have a couple of friends in the audience that life brought here by chance, Sergeant Keller and Sergeant Young. We were all stationed together at different points in my career, and I can't tell you how much it means to me to have you. And Danny. And Danny. We go all the way back to Fairchild, my very first base, and ALS. And I walked in there scared and unsure. I think I was still a baby senior airman. Like, I'm pretty sure I found out I made staff in ALS. But it was just such a breath of fresh air to meet somebody and befriend someone who was as random and weird as I was. And then to have her join me in Germany and be able to spend those amazing, possibly intoxicated years together. Yeah, navigating life and learning how to be NCOs together. So this is the part I brought the waterproof mascara for you. My family. I wish you could all be here today. Thank you all for your support and unconditional love. I will be having conversations with each of you, but I'll never make it to this speech if I try to tell all of you how amazing all of them are. The Air Force has taken me pretty far from them at times, but these last 2 assignments have allowed me to be close enough to reconnect, and I'm so grateful for that. Knowing the quote that I read at the beginning is one thing, but knowing how to live like that is another. The man who influenced me the most in life is the man who taught me how to live that out, my Poppy. I definitely would not be standing before you right now without this man. Poppy, please come up here for just a minute. People talk about my resilience a lot, but I owe the ability to bounce back to you. You were always honest and loving and have always encouraged me to keep going. No matter what speed it had to be, just stay focused and keep moving. You help me stay true to who I am and where I want to go. Because of you, I have always believed that I could do this and anything else I want to do. I don't have the words to express my gratitude and love for you, but I wanted you to have something that always reminds you of your priceless role in my life and career. I love you so much. To my Air Force family, all of you from every base, every deployment or TDY, I love y'all and I'm so grateful that God brought each of you into my world. I can't imagine how different my career would be if even one of you was not there. Thank you for your friendship, mentorship, leadership, wingmanship, and how you helped me to walk each step over the last 20 years. Finally, I would like to publicly thank Master Sergeant Tia Walker and everyone who not only planned and executed this, but really put their heart and soul into making this the ceremony that is exactly what I wanted to end my career. And Sergeant Vernon Young, again, the photographer never gets a shout out. Thank you for not only being here, but offering to document my ceremony. It's an honor to be photographed by someone with your talent and passion. I have a quote hung in my room on the wall where I see it every single day, first thing. It says, "I do not know my path, but well do I know my guide." I don't know exactly what the future holds, but I'm so excited for this next journey. I know God has commanded each step and will lead me to the next part of his purpose for me. I will continue to serve and help others. I just have to get used to being Christina and not Sergeant Styer. Please keep in touch, and if you're ever in Little Rock, come hang out with me and my amazing family up there. It has been the honor and privilege of my life to be a United States Air Force airman. Thank you for being here. Sergeant Styer. Everybody, please be seated. Sergeant Styer, the men and women of Matthews Non-Commissioned Officer Academy are proud to have served with you. We wish you and your family continued success as you enter the next chapter of your life. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the singing of the Air Force song and remain standing for the departure of the official party. We ask that you join us for a reception in the staff lounge and in congratulating Sergeant Styer on her and her family in her retirement.
Into the wild blue yonder, climbing high into the sun. Here they come, zooming to meet our thunder. Atta boys, give her the gun. Give her the gun. Down we dive, spouting our flames from under. Off with one hell of a roar. We live in fame or go down in flames. Hey, nothing will stop the U.S. Air Force.